Hi, welcome to the Township of Bloomfield Energy Aggregation educational video brought to you by Commercial Utility Consultants Incorporated. Who is Commercial Utility Consultants? CUC was founded in 1975 and we have worked with over 10,000 clients, saving them over $2 billion on their energy costs. CUC utilizes an energy auction platform as well as a New Jersey municipal aggregation tracking platform specifically designed for aggregation programs. What is energy deregulation? Energy deregulation is the separation of the distribution and supply. New Jersey has been deregulated since 1999, and since then, approximately 20% of the residential customer base has switched to a third-party supplier that they have chosen. As illustrated in the picture below, before 1999, the LDC would generate electricity and bill for the supply and distribution portion of your bill. Since 1999, the LDC was only responsible for the distribution of your electricity. Your local distribution company must buy electricity from a third-party electric supplier. When your local distribution company bills you, they will bill you for the distribution and supply portion of your bill and remit the supply portion to the suppliers who generated the electricity. What is the New Jersey deregulation process? In order to make up your current electric default rate, the Board of Public Utilities, also known as the BPU, runs a statewide auction. The auction makes up the basic generation service portion of your bill, which is also known as the supply portion on your bill. On your current bill, you can see these charges by finding the line item named BGS. The last auction the BPU ran for PSE&G was in February 2015. Here is a look at some of the suppliers who make up the current default rate. BP Energy Company, Exelon Generation Company, and TransCanada Power Marketing, to name a few. What is government energy aggregation? The Government Energy Aggregation Act of 2003 was passed allowing counties and municipalities to aggregate their load and compete against the default rate provided by PSE&G. In 2012, NJAC Title 14 was passed, allowing municipalities to aggregate their residential customers to compete for a cheaper price to compare versus the current PSE&G default rate. All bid documents and agreements are sent to the BPU and Rate Council for review prior to the energy auction. The Department of Community Affairs, also known as the DCA, has oversight throughout the entire auction process. Here are the auction results for the Township of Bloomfield. The auction was held on 2/27/2015. The winning supplier was Constellation New Energy, and the auction winning rate was 0.113 per kilowatt hour versus the PSE&G default rate of 0.1231 per kilowatt hour. The contract term starts 6/2015 and runs through 11/2015. What happens next? The initial opt-out period will run from approximately April 5th to May 5th. A mailer will be mailed to all eligible residents explaining the program and winning supplier price. There will also be opt-out instructions. CUC will host educational meetings. Meeting dates and times will be posted on the Township website as well as by going to www.njaggregation.us/Bloomfield. If you are a resident, you may opt out using the following methods. You may mail the opt-out form to CUC at 430 Clements Bridge Road, Barrington, New Jersey, 08007. You may also visit us at www.njaggregation.us. You may call the CUC call center at 1-877-292-3904, or you may call the CUC office at 1-855-200-2648. You may also contact PSE&G at 1-800-436-7734 or Constellation New Energy at 1-800-718-1493. Remember, residents can opt out at any time for any reason with no penalty. Here is a look at www.njaggregation.us, which you may use to opt out. You may opt out by searching your utility, entering your POD ID number. Your POD ID number can be found on your PSE&G bill. What should you expect next? After the 30-day opt-out outreach period, PSE&G will send residents a letter who have not opted out stating when Constellation New Energy will begin to supply the electric generation portion of your bill. The supply for all residents will begin with the first available meter read date after 6/1/2015. Once the resident has been switched to Constellation New Energy, the resident will still receive one bill from PSE&G. Here is a sample bill from PSE&G. Notice the only line item that will change will be the BGS Energy line item. This will now be replaced with Constellation New Energy. Here are some frequently asked questions. Who do I call if my energy goes out? You will still call PSE&G, as they will still remain responsible and always will be responsible for the distribution lines entering your home. Will I be penalized if I do not become part of this program? No, you may opt out at any time for any reason with no penalty. Will there be a different or two separate bills? No, you will still receive one bill from PSE&G. Does this hurt PSE&G? No, PSE&G is always your distribution company. They will always remain your distribution company and only bill you for distribution and supply. They will submit the supply portion to Constellation New Energy rather than the default suppliers. Who do I call with billing questions? You may call PSE&G, Constellation New Energy, or Commercial Utility Consultants Incorporated. If I opt out, can I opt back in? Yes, you may opt out or opt in at any time for any reason. Is budget billing offered? Yes. If you are currently with PSE&G and enjoy budget billing, you can continue budget billing through this program. What if I already have a third-party supplier? If you are currently on a third-party supplier, you must wait until the end of your contract, and then you may opt into the program. What happens after the initial term expires? If CUC is unable to find a rate better than the current default rate after the initial term, you will be switched back to PSE&G. Why do I have to opt out versus opting in? The opt-out option is an aspect of the program written by the Board of Public Utilities. The law requires us to follow the statutory guidelines in order to establish and participate in this type of program. Thank you for watching, and to learn more, please visit us at www.njaggregation.us or call 1-855-200-2648. Thank you.